We have Cloud Lee 2000 who writes in and wonders, why did you name the album Invincible?
Well, Invincible is something that I think was the proper name. It's one of the cuts on the album. And I've been an artist, not to pat myself on the back, but the Guinness Book of World Records just enlisted me another time as the artist who's had the longest stretch career since I've been a little kid to this point, with still hit records and #1 records. And I'm so proud and honored that I've been chosen from the heavens or whatever it is to be invincible and to just continue to grow and to be, serve the people, to serve the people with wonderful entertainment.
Now, one of the kind of conventional wisdom these days in the music industry is, audiences don't really have an attention span anymore. If an artist stays away for too long, their audience wanders off and goes somewhere else. Was that a concern of yours, with coming out in a record and taking a while to work on Invincible, or do you, are you convinced that your fan base is still there and will be as strong as ever? You asked me this question. It has never concerned me once, and I've never thought of it, because I've always known if music is truly great, or if a movie is truly great, people want to see it or hear it. Mm-hmm.
No matter how long you've been away, or whatever the situation is, greatness is greatness. And if you really do a good job on what you're doing, people want to hear it or they want to see it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. As long as you're an innovator and a pioneer, and that's the most important thing. Give them what they want to hear.
Now, Slim's Lady 420 US sends in a question and wonders, which song on the Invincible album do you think you personally relate to the most?
Unbreakable.
Talk a bit about that track. Now, you've mentioned it a couple of times. I'm getting really curious about it. What could you tell us about it?
Because I'm one of the few people probably in show business that have been through the ins and outs, of so many different things. I've been through hell and back. I have, to be honest, and still I'm able to do what I do, and nothing can stop me. No one can stop me, no matter what. I stop when I'm ready to stop, and I'm just saying, I will continue to move forward no matter what.
Now we have Warful writes in, are you working or planning to do any more short films for Invincible, specifically for the really fast tracks, such as 2,000 Watts, Heartbreaker, Unbreakable, and Invincible?
Absolutely. And she said, whoever said that said the right word, and they said short film.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we try to make them, short films, a beginning, a middle, and an ending of a story, to take the medium to a new level. But absolutely, there's like just an array of an encyclopedia of just great short films to make from the album. It's very exciting. I can't wait to do Threatened. It's the kind of scary one with Rod Serling from The Twilight Zone.
Fantastic.
I can't wait to get my hands on that one.
We have a question here from Napoleon III. Says his name is George, really, and then says, Michael, I think this is your most cohesive and impressive album since Thriller, or really off the wall. What are some of your most memorable moments while recording the tracks for this album?
The most memorable moments were, of all my albums, I would say this one was the toughest, because I was hardest on myself. I wrote so many songs, I don't even want to say the number. just to get to, how many are on there, 16? Just to get to the 16 that I think are acceptable. And it's the album where I didn't have children before the other album, so I caught a lot of colds, so I was sick a lot. Because my children kept colds.
Right, little incubators of viruses.
So we had to stop, and start again, stop and start, and it was a tough one. But I've enjoyed it very, very much.
Now, when you describe yourself as being tough on yourself during the recording process, How does that, what is the process that you go to? If you think something isn't quite what it ought to be, or maybe you could do better, or you hear maybe you want to move something in a new direction, what is that like?
If I truly told you, I don't know if the fans would like me anymore. I've had musicians who really get angry with me because I'll make them do something literally several hundred to 1,000 times until it's what I want it to be. But then afterwards, they'll call me back on the phone and they'll apologize and they'll say, you were absolutely right. I've never played better. I've never done better work. I outdid myself, is what they'll say. And I said, that's the way it should be because you've immortalized yourself. This is here forever. It's a time capsule. It's like Michelangelo's work. It's like the Sistine Chapel. It's here forever. And everything we do should be that way,
To try to bring it to the best possible standard that it can be.
Absolutely.
Now, Sweet Pea 4286 wonders, are there any surprises on the new album?
Any surprises? Boy. I think it is what it is, and you can interpret it the way you want to interpret it. But that's all I can say about that. Other than some, maybe we'll be releasing some surprise CD singles at some point, something like that. Yeah, in the future though, that's coming up.
Very good. I wanted to ask you, just as a performer, recently you've done a couple of shows. You did a couple at Madison Square Garden, and you did a show at RFK Stadium, a benefit concert. And, obviously, live performance has been one of the things that has distinguished you, throughout your career. And you'd been off stage for a while. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about what it was like to be out there again in front of an audience and, getting that opportunity to perform again.
It was hard to explain. It was quite exciting to feel the audience and to see them and to be accepted so warmly by them. It's just an incredible feeling. It really is. They're there to support you and to love you and to hear their favorite songs and just stand there and they're just, giving you so much adulation and love and hysteria. It's just full of love. It's wonderful. It's very emotional. It brings me to tears. It's wonderful.
I remember in your book you described that, like, sometimes on stage is when you feel the most alive, that those are the moments that, really are kind of the most transporting for you.
It is. Just being off stage is difficult for me. Being on stage, either writing music or writing poetry and being on stage and watching cartoons are my favorite things to do in the entire world. That's what brings me to life. I love that. That's what inspires me to do what I do,
Excellent. We have a question here from someone calling himself the best dancer in the world. Well, we got you on the line. I'm not sure that we might have to contest that a little bit. But anyway, the best dancer in the world wants to know, MichaelJackson.com said that Jay-Z will appear with you on the new album. Is that true?
No, but we are talking about doing something in the future together.
Is Jay-Z an artist whose work you've liked, or as a person? Have you spent time with him? What's your impressions of him?
I think he's excellent. He's incredible rhythms, counter rhythms, and he's just one of the newer contemporary artists that the kids really love. He's really, really great.
We have a question here from Sweden. Tony from Sweden writes in and says, "Hi, Michael. You're the most amazing artist of all times. I just love your music. Do you want to tour, and will you do a world tour or a European tour?"
We haven't thought about it much right now, but I don't want to say it's not in the works. We're concentrating on a lot of different things right now, so I can't quite say.
Fine. I wanted to ask you.
You know what? In the near future, I'm sure there'll be something that'll come up in the near future.
People should keep their eyes open for announcements.